Okay, I am joined in studio by Dr. Fred Newsome. How you doing?
Good. How you doing today?
Excellent, excellent.
Good.
So you are running for mayor of Baltimore City.
Yes.
So let's talk a little bit about your background. Where'd you grow up?
Actually, I grew up in New York, in a town called Sodus, which is near Buffalo, Syracuse, Rochester area.
Cold?
Ice cold.
That sounds
Been cold, understatement.
Mm-hmm. What brought you to Baltimore?
Actually, God led me here probably about 22 years ago. I was part of the music business. I used to work with Stellar Awards and did a lot of stuff with them, and I was on the advisory board for the Stellar Awards. But with Rochester and that region being so far from where the Stellar Award shows was being held, I had to find a city that was like a prime location that would neighbor a lot of other cities, and Baltimore just fell in the mix, and I've been here since and just been moving.
Absolutely.
Things.
So you're involved in the gospel scene?
Yeah, big time. I was working with the Stellar Awards when they were on number 11.
Okay.
So now they're on number 34, 35. But I was nominated twice for the Board of Governor Grammys, which is really about the highest board you can even get your name on.
Yeah.
Didn't get on it, but got nominated twice, which I thought was an amazing honor by itself.
Absolutely.
So that was, and I branched off from there and started doing the Newsome Awards.
So what led you to politics?
Well, actually, I've been in politics for the last, 8 to 10 years. And basically, I saw a lot of the way things were being ran and the people that were in office. And I just wanted to bring about a change. And this is actually my third election being in. And even the areas where I was able to give input and see change take place, but it wasn't happening on a broader enough scale for me. Mm-hmm. So now I want to make things happen on a broader level.
As far as the politics goes and things for the city, how important is transparency and accountability to you?
Well, transparency and accountability is very important because it keeps the people informed.
Right.
Because what it is the taxpayers' money.
Absolutely.
The salaries are being paid through the taxpayers. The programs are being funded through the taxpayers. Everything is being funded through the taxpayer. And you definitely can't keep the taxpayers out of the loop. And a lot of what I see today, not only in Maryland, the White House, everywhere, there's so much secretiveness of, well, no, we can't tell you where but it's your money. You have to give the people some insight on where their money is being spent. So transparency is really major because you have to let people know what's going on. And then if you need more money, well, they'll be more apt to give you more if they see where you wisely spent the other money. If they see you've been a fool with the other money, any wise person wouldn't sit there and keep throwing good money after bad money.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so that's not going to happen. But
and the accountability piece?
Yeah, well, I think everybody has to be accountable because, even from the governor, the mayor, the president, city council, whoever, everybody has to be accountable. And that's one thing that is not happening, is that nobody's taking responsibility.
Right.
And two, because I'm telling you, I'm looking now and I see a lot of money just popping up out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to figure out, well, you were broke 2 weeks ago, but now you just came up with $3 million. See, I can't go find $3 million on the ground and say,
right.
I'm rich.
Right.
So some things that had transpired in the last few weeks in Baltimore City, and listen, I'm all for opening up all the rec centers. I get it. But 2 weeks prior, you were broke. But 2 weeks later, you had $3 million. I'm going to question that. I know nobody else has questioned that yet. I get that. But I'm going to question that. How come you were broke 2 weeks prior, but now you had $3 million? That's a question somebody needs to answer for me.
Absolutely. Understand. So back in the spring of 2019, Baltimore's computer servers were compromised. Mm-hmm. Something called Robinhood. It was a ransomware attack. And we were vulnerable. Baltimore was vulnerable because our systems are outdated.
Right.
and not a lot of money is spent on cyber attack insurance. So these hackers wanted $76,000, and the mayor did not, said he didn't want to pay the money. Would you have paid the money, and how would you have handled that situation?
Well, first, it would have never happened. I would have had IT people already in place, because when you're dealing with a budget as large as Baltimore City, you can't even begin to run the risk of somebody coming in and saying, tearing down the firewalls or hacking the system. That shouldn't even never be an option on the table.
Right.
But that being said, since nobody took a proactive measure with it, I would have paid the $76,000, had my people in place. Listen, even if I would have had to hire 5 tech geeks and who knew the systems inside out, listen, I'm paying you to monitor these systems for me. This is 24 hours a day, working shifts. Even if it costs $100,000 a year for each, it's better to get 5 and pay them $100,000 a year than to lose millions. And I think on that, if you total the sum up, we lost somewhere around over $30 million.
Lost a lot.
Because we didn't want to pay $76,000.
Strange, isn't it?
Couldn't be me. No, let me just say that. Couldn't be me.
So another thing that is highly talked about here in the city, the squeegee kids. Source of debate. What are your thoughts on the squeegee kids?
Squeegee kids, you have to be careful. Some things that have been put out, you can't put out. For example, I actually went and talked to them. And I asked them, I said, listen, why everybody's talking about, why do you guys come out and do this stuff? And the kids gave me one simple answer. Because I asked them, I said, why don't you just get a job? They said, we're not old enough to work. I mean, that in itself lets me know they were around the age of 15, 16. But now the trade-off to that is this. The mayor said he doesn't mind if they go out there 2 or 3 days a week. The problem with that is when you authorize that, you assume all liability. So, for instance, if one of them children get hit by a car, guess who they can sue? City of Baltimore, because the mayor authorized it. You cannot do that as mayor. There's certain, it doesn't even have to be mayor. You cannot do that in certain positions because he authorized them kids that they could go on the street and do that. He said, just don't stand in the traffic, but watch the windows on the medium. Now, I don't know how you're going to pull that off. He told them to watch the windows on the medium, but don't stand in the traffic. Well, cars ain't not driving on the medium, so that's not going to work. So let's just be real. But as mayor, there's certain things you cannot authorize. What comes out of your mouth is law. If those, and God forbid, one of those children get hit, they can sue the city. And then you got the car owner, the individual who's the innocent bystander.
Yeah.
They become liable for something they have no authority over. So it's a terrible situation. But I would definitely find good employment for them. And actually, know it or not, they do have employment for the young people. It's called Youth Works. Yeah, but is all the money going towards the youth? That's the question. That's the question I still want answered. Because them squeegee kids should never be on the street if we provided jobs for them. We could see they're willing to work. If you're willing to stand out in that blazing sun for 8-10 hours a day, yeah, you're willing to work. But are you willing to provide the jobs? They have programs, Youth Works and other programs, but are the youth getting the information? And are there jobs for the youth to work? So those questions I would definitely make sure are solved immediately.
Yes. So Baltimore Police Commissioner Michael Harrison has been here for a little bit of time, not a whole lot of time. During your administration, you would have to work closely with the police commissioner. What are your thoughts on Commissioner Harrison and his crime plan?
Actually, Commissioner Harrison has an excellent crime plan. Excellent crime plan. The issue is he has nobody to help him execute it. You and I can come up with the best plan on the planet nobody ever seen before. But if we don't have the people to execute it, it's just a plan on the table. He has an outstanding plan, but the individuals that he's trying to allocate responsibility to have no clue what he's talking about. It takes a collaborative of individuals to even figure out what Commissioner Harrison trying to do. I know the whole outline of what he's trying to do, how to accomplish it, how to get it in motion, how to get the right people for the program. And I'm sitting there looking at everybody else, and they're so confused as all get out. And I'm sitting there like, this is just so elementary. These are the things you do to help put it in place and help get it going. But I wouldn't be able to tell them that, because if they would have known that, they would have done it 20 years ago. But since they haven't done it, that means they don't know. And then you get a wise person like Commissioner Harrison here. The man plan is outstanding, but the man doesn't have the right people to help him carry it out. And he's never going to get it with these people he's dealing with now. That's never going to happen. Listen, I function from a reality perspective. Ain't no sense in trying to think you're going to squeeze blood off a turnip when ain't no blood in the turnip in the first place. It's not going to happen.
So the main thing that he needs to do is continue to change people in position?
No, to boil it down, he needs to listen to the Fraternal Order of Police. Fraternal Order of Police actually gave him a good nugget. He don't even know what it is. I know what it is. Fraternal Order of Police gave him an excellent nugget. He just needs to know how to work with the Fraternal Order of Police. But I'm looking at state attorney, the mayor, the president of city council, and it's this adversarial relationship they built with the Fraternal Order of Police. Now, I don't know what boiled down to it and why they're on this spectrum and they're on this spectrum, and Brandon Scott want to start his own crime reduction program. He's trying to get the mayor to start his crime reduction program. The commissioner got his going. State attorney might want to jump in there. But, and I made this simple the other day when I was on Facebook Live. I said, let's weigh this out. The president city council want his crime plan. The commissioner got his. The mayor probably want to implement his. State attorney might want to put in theirs. I said, but what's the problem lacking in all of them? There's never enough police officers.
All right, there's a lot of vacancies. A lot.
So the vacancies mean all these crime plans everybody trying to develop, it takes people. If you already short people, guess what's not going to work? Those new plans. Because you're already short people. It's going to take more officers for this plan, more officers for that plan, more officers for that plan, more officers for that plan. But he's telling you right, Fraternal Police telling you right off the bat, I don't have enough officers. No, but we're going to do a new crime plan. Still don't have enough officers. No, we're going to do a new crime plan. Still don't have enough officers. The bottom line is they're not even wise enough to know they're short the officers to even try to even begin to implement a crime plan. That's why the Fraternal Order of Police is correct. The commissioner's plan is not going to work because he never have no bodies. It's not going to happen without the people. You could take an order of 1 million widgets, but if you're trying to do 1 million widgets with 5 workers, the same you did with 20,000, it's not going to happen. I mean, it's a good order. It's just not going to be carried out. They got to have that much wisdom. They don't. I mean, they're showing it on TV. I would never get on TV and do that stuff they're doing because it makes them look dumb. And I mean, man, fake it till you make it or something, but don't sit on TV looking dumb. Don't do that. That's not wise. That's not wise at all.
Yeah, agree. One thing that really concerns me about the city is the condition of the schools. Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts would be right now, if I were to take office as mayor right now, I'm not focusing on the future. I'm going back to the last 10 years, and I want y'all to show me that accountability you're talking about, that we're talking about. I want you to show me what happened to that money from the last 10 years. I want to know who pocketed that money because it was allocated for that purpose.
Yes.
To fix up the schools, the heat, the air conditioning, make sure they were running, the maintenance. It was allocated for that purpose. For the last 10, 12, however many years, nothing has happened. So that means somebody's getting paid too much or money is going in somebody's pocket that nobody's giving an account of. Now, I done heard the governor, I done heard the mayor, the president of the city council, everybody want to focus on the future. I don't care about the future. I want to know who pocketed that money from now until 10 years back. Show me where all that money went to. I guarantee you 100% somebody's going to give me an accounting of what happened to that money. And then I'm going to see, because what use is it to go forward if you haven't found out who's ripping you off in the past?
Right.
Because you may be carrying the same people forward. So it's not going to stop. No, I would want to know what happened to the money in the past and outline a program where those schools, heat, air is done immediately. I'm not talking about a 2 or 3 year plan like I've heard others talk. No, them children are freezing every day. When that winter hit, they're going to be cold.
Definitely. So
I'm not willing to sacrifice our children for nothing. And how these people that are in office now just sacrificing the children like, well, you know, if they make it through, they make it through. If they don't, they don't. No, that's not happening under my administration. Another
big concern here in the city is the vacant houses. There's a lot of blight. What are your thoughts on that, and can anything be done in Newsome administration about that?
Well, let me tell you, a lot can be done right now. And not even wait for me to take office. A lot can be done right now. I found out, I was at a town hall meeting the other day, and a gentleman didn't even know me. Just came to the table. I was sitting. I was taking notes. I'm taking notes. And this gentleman comes up to me. Hey, how you doing? You know, I'm sitting with one of my friends. He walks up. Hi, how you doing? Introduce himself. I said, okay, cool. My name is Dr. Freddie Ware Newsome. I run for mayor of Baltimore. He said, you know what? He had this big, thick briefcase. He came, sat down. He said, I got something I want to show you. He goes in this briefcase, pulls out this thick book about this thick, sets it on the table. He said, I want you to go through that. He said, a lot of these abandoned houses, he said, this is me trying to fix up those houses. I went through his book, I'm going through it fast, just skimming, okay. He got in there where actually he got people that want to help him fix up the houses and willing to give him $5 million. He took it to the city of Baltimore, said, listen, I can fix up a lot of these houses, and it says don't cost you nothing. He said, I got banks that'll put the money up for me to fix up these houses. But here's one of the drawbacks I looked at. He showed me a list of houses, and I'm flipping through every page. I said, why is it saying the city of Baltimore owned these? They were protruding like someone else owned them. I'm flipping page, city of Baltimore owned, city of Baltimore owned, city. I said, so why are they perpetrating the fraud as if somebody else owned these properties when they own them all along? And they could just sell them, even if you do the dollar program or whatever have you. This man was willing to pay good money for those properties. And he said the city of Baltimore would not sell them to him. Listen, I know the Kushner Corporation, the president's son-in-law, and the city of Baltimore own properties. I know that. But when I saw how many he showed me that the city of Baltimore owned, I said, well, wait a minute, that's the fix right there. If you got this man, he showed me the letter from the bank. The bank willing to give him $5 million to fix up these properties. So now there is a huge breakdown. So my issue now is, how come the city of Baltimore is holding back from getting these properties fixed? That's going to be my issue. As soon as I hit the door, I guarantee you that's going to be my issue. See, I'm not the type of person, and anybody that know me with the Newsome Awards, and listen, you don't want to work with the Stellar Awards because you don't know what you're talking about. They want the best of the best. So, and then listen, my thing is this, I'm the type of person, I don't let nobody get away with nothing. I don't believe in it. Listen, if I got to work, you got to work. We all got to work. When all the work is done, then we all rest. Right. But until then, no, we don't rest. And now I need to know from the city of Baltimore if this man is willing to fix up these properties. I mean, these properties were dilapidated and everything. He's willing to put all that money into it. I need to know why we're not doing it. So there's some underlying issue that's going on right now that nobody's telling us. Now, not that I can't figure it out. I figure it out. Just give me time. I guarantee you I figure it out. But I need to know why the mayor and the president of the city council and all these individuals are holding on to these abandoned properties when you got people that want to fix them and will buy them from the city. And on that one deal I'm telling you about, the city could make about $10 million. Now figure that.
Very strange. Like you said, the fix is in.
Exactly.
So there was a town hall the other day here in the city that I believe was conducted by Fox 45.
Fox 45, yeah.
And there was a lot of talk about it because some of the main folks that they wanted there were not there.
Right.
You were in attendance?
I was in attendance, yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
It was a highly contested, highly charged atmosphere. It did the citizens no good not to see the mayor there, Jack Young, and the president of the city council, Brandon Scott, not there. Fox 45 went on their broadcast and showed where they confirmed they were going to be there. And then later the mayor confirmed, and then later the mayor said he had something else to do or whatever have you. But then he was interviewed the next day, and they asked him, well, why didn't you come to the town hall meeting? He said, I just didn't want to come. Well, wait. Now, other people may go with that, but the day before, you said you had another engagement. So I just don't want to come and got another engagement. So one of them is a lie. Now, they could pick whichever one it is. But if you're the mayor of Baltimore and you sitting there lying in front of the citizens, why should I believe anything else you say after that? That will not fly. The atmosphere was highly charged. Citizens were looking for answers from their elected officials, and they chose not to show up. One outline was, well, we thought it was going to be a mayoral debate, and nobody ever said that, so I don't even know where anybody got that from. But they thought it was going to be a mayoral debate, and they didn't want to debate, and so that means you're more higher-minded than everybody else. That you, even if it was and see, that's why people have to be careful what they say. Even if it was a mayoral debate, then that would have been the main reason for you to be there, not to bow out. Oh, we thought it was a mayoral debate, so we're not coming. Then you apparently don't want to be mayor of Baltimore. That's what I'm getting from it.
Yeah.
So my thing is,
well, he's never been elected mayor of Baltimore.
Well, no, true.
No, he's been elected, but not as the mayor. So he still has not decided whether or not he's going to run.
That's a good answer.
So
don't run. I'm definitely don't run against me.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, I'm show no mercy.
So it seems as though you have not been pleased with the few months that he's been in office.
He hasn't done anything. Like, listen, when I go to my job, they pay me because I work. If you don't work, guess what? I should not be giving you a paycheck. But unfortunately, a lot of them getting a paycheck. And if this current position now that Baltimore's in is the track record that people laying down, then it's a lousy track record. Homicides is almost at close to 260, if not closer.
Yeah.
But almost close to 260. They're thinking it may approach 300, 350. So, and then shootings are up over 100 plus. And I'm trying to figure out where are the numbers where everybody said crime is going down. Police commissioner said it. The mayor said it. Show me the numbers. I mean, listen, I'm not saying you're lying, but the current track tells me somebody not telling the truth. Murders is up higher than it was, 100 plus. Shootings are up, but you're saying crime is going down. My mind doesn't even comprehend that. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you can pull that smoke and mirror screens with somebody else, but my mind doesn't comprehend how murder is up, shootings up, carjackings up, but crime is going down. I love to see those numbers, and I don't even know how they work them, but I'd love to see them because that don't add up to me.
Speaking of not adding up, what are your thoughts on the Preakness, keeping it in Baltimore? Is this something that's important that needs to happen, not happen? What are your thoughts on that?
I'm glad you asked me that question. So they came up with a summation of what they want to do with the Preakness. Yeah, the issue is I talked with somebody about all they just said. Every idea that they just said they were going to do, I talked with somebody several months ago. And I'm not going to name who it was, but it was somebody who we were working on something for that area. And they said, well, if as mayor, so on and so forth, what would you do? And I said, these are the things I would do as mayor. And everything you heard on TV that they said they were going to do, I came up with all that stuff. I mentioned that like 5-6 months ago when I think it was like in February. And when I saw that come out on TV, I said, I know good and well this person did not take my information and go give it to them. Now that, I promise you, that hit me real hard. Because I thought the person I was talking to was like, okay, collectively, we're going to do something for the Pimlico area, for the businesses over there. And they said everything I talked to that person about. Wow. So that and now I've learned from that, and now I'm to the point I don't give out all that information like I used to, because I thought, well, I put confidence in the person. So I put confidence in the person. And when they announced what they were going to do with Pimlico and so on, so I was like, that's every single thing I just told the individual. So I said, okay, I get it. They don't know how to implement it, though, because I came up with it. Just because they copy it don't mean you know how to do it, because I'm the originator of it. So I was extremely disappointed. And Pimlico, I'm telling you, I don't know how they made whatever, 80, 100 millions on that track, but my plan and outline, listen, that Pimlico going to be hopping every week. Not once or twice a year. It's going to be hopping every single week. And I will not tell them how to carry it out from this point forward. Will not. So
I take that to mean that you think that it should stay as long as it can benefit the community.
Yeah, I actually have another totally different structure and outline and plan on it. And like I said, you're talking about under my plan, you're talking about making hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars. And not only will that Pimlico area be benefited, Park Heights, all that, no, this is going to revitalize the whole community. What they're planning now, they're only focusing on certain people.
Right.
So they're going to drive the people out of there who they consider not economically advantaged. That's the goal. They want to drive them out.
Gentrification.
Right, exactly. There you go.
Yeah. So as far as social media, you seem to be very active on.
I love social media.
On Facebook. If people want to support your campaign or follow your movement, how can they do that?
They can actually go to my Facebook page, Fred Newsome. It's a simple page. They can follow me on, they'll see different postings or different events I'll be at or whatever have you. We're not technically looking for no financial support right now because even with me, everything with me has to be structured. We're doing our first fundraiser November 9th here in Baltimore at the Charles Towers. So that's when we'll probably start doing our fundraising. But we're strategically setting other things up in place. So let me give this fallacy of a lot other people who run for office, and I'll give this nugget to people. So one big problem is when people run up for office and they make their big announcement they're running for whatever office, after that, they die out and nobody hear nothing else from them.
Right.
So that was a waste of time, effort, energy, money, whatever you spent on it. No, when we start, we're going to keep going. So that's why you have to delay the process. And this is just food for people who want to run for office. Because I like teaching, I like giving little nuggets here and there. But if they're running for something, they want to make sure once they start, they can keep going. Like most of the people I've seen already that announce this or announce that, they ain't doing nothing now. You don't see them nowhere. That's the fallacy of it. Your money will never carry you. Because to do all this costs a lot of money. In my summation, to run for mayor, you're talking about easy $500,000, $500,000. Easy $500,000.
In a city like this.
Oh, yeah, definitely. In a city like this. So it's just and a lot of information I'm not going to give them, but I'll give them little nuggets here and there. But it will help. If they listen, it will help them. I'm just saying, I want everybody to succeed. You can't be a mayor if you don't want the whole city to succeed.
Right.
Like I said, my outline is, my responsibility is the newborn baby up until the person 110 years old and everybody in between. That's my responsibility. I'm gladly taking it on. Like there is no, we're going to cater to Inner Harbor. We're going to cater to Fells Point. No, we're catering to the whole city. I'm mayor of the whole city. Not bits and pieces of Baltimore. Not the mayors you get now only concerned about bits and pieces of Baltimore. No, my goal is to bring everybody up economically. And I already have a plan and strategy for that. Extremely complicated, so they can't duplicate it. Not like they did the Pimlico thing, but it's extremely complicated. They can't duplicate it. I guarantee you, I'm bringing everybody up. The people you see stand on the corner, already got an outline for all of them. People in Camden Yards, Fells Point, already got an outline for that. To bring the economic kind of to a balance. I'm telling you, it's an amazing plan. Amazing plan.
That's something that's definitely needed. So you definitely want people to get out and vote April 28th.
Yes, definitely. Everybody get. If you're not registered, register now. Now's the time to get registered. Whatever you got to do, send in your registration form. Get registered so you can vote. In Baltimore. Baltimore City mayor election, and not only just the mayor election, every election, you should be glad to register to vote.
Absolutely.
That's your constitutional right.
Absolutely. And all politics are local. They start in your community. Again, your Facebook page is what?
Fred Newsome. You can just hit me up on Fred Newsome, or you can email me, frednewsome@yahoo.com. I try to keep everything simple. And definitely hit me up. Right now we're looking for volunteers to help out with the campaign, different meetings. We have an amazing strategy for our volunteers, so definitely hook us up. You'll be glad to be a part of this program. I guarantee you, if we don't include all, we don't include none. We have to include everybody, or we don't include nobody.
That's very good. I really appreciate you taking some time to talk with me. And I look forward to speaking with you again.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. All right, stay tuned.